Hello, I'm Don KO4TA. This is my Palstar AT-4K tuner, which I purchased about 3 or 4 years ago from HRO, I believe it was. The tuner worked real well for about a couple of years, and then the caps, I had an antenna problem and it started arcing over on the inside, and once it did, it avalanched and got worse and worse and worse, and over the course of about a year I sent it back for repair, and they replaced the caps. They sent the tuner back to me, and immediately when I hooked it up, it started arcing somewhere in the back, and so I called Paul at Palstar, and he told me to send it back, and I did. And when I spoke to Paul after he got the tuner back, he told me that he had to replace the roller inductor tuner because it was dated, and I asked him why he didn't do that the first time. Anyway, long story short, sent the thing back to me, and when I hooked it up, he gave me a lot of grief, accused me of not knowing what I was doing. When I hooked the tuner up, he told me that I needed to get some help with some amateur radio operators to help me with my amateur radio skills. Well, when I hooked it up, it was passing no RF, and the rig was, 100 dB or lower in signal strength, so I took the tuner back out of the circuit and got my signal strength back up, so I knew my problem was in the tuner. This is before doing any transmitting. I couldn't even get it past RF. Okay, the problem is the amp. When I hooked the rig up and the amp, I got absolutely zero signal strength through it on receive. Forget transmitting. I never even got that far. I had no receive at all. So after troubleshooting and confirming that it absolutely was the AT-4K tuner by Palstar, I took it apart because I just don't want to have to argue with this guy anymore. And this is what I found. After him telling me I needed to get someone to help me with my amateur radio practices. This is the input. And this, there is no continuity between this point and this point. It's a code joint. I don't know that that's all that's wrong with it, but I know that this is the first thing that's got to be fixed. And how this could have possibly got by any kind of quality control is beyond me. I don't think it was ever even tested. So if you look at the meter, I'll set the meter up here so you can see. It's on the R×1 scale. 0 the leads, 0.2 of an ohm. Alright, put one in the SO239 and one to the back, the very back, and I've got 1/10 of an ohm resistance. I go to the daughter board and it's open. Put this right here so you can see both, hopefully. So we zoom back and we'll see. We'll go with the lead here. It's 0.2 of an ohm, and with the lead here to here, it's open. Here, here. Alright, so I take the lead and move it to here. And it's a cold joint, obviously. Here to here is open. So that joint right there is obviously a cold joint. Now, I may not be the brightest bulb in the pack, and granted, I'm not the expert engineer that Paul, you are, but I can tell you I'm smart enough to figure this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to heat this up and get the solder to flow. Like I said, Paul, I may not be the brightest bulb in the pack, but I do know how to solder. Find a cold joint, fix it. Cut. Fixed. Alright, now going between the back of the SO239, sticking that in there, and 1.6 ohms, 1.5 ohms. I don't know what it should be, but it's definitely better. Putting a little pressure on it. Hopefully that's fixed it. Now I realize there was more than that wrong with the tuner when I sent it off for repair, but there is no way anybody put 800 watts in this thing and tested it like you said they did. So this is the proof is in the pudding. This is an AT-4K Palstar tuner that has been back and forth to repair twice. I paid shipping on it. I paid for the tuner. Here's the serial number on it right here. And I'll admit I'm no RF engineer by any stretch of the imagination, but I've worked in the electronics industries all of my adult life. I was trained in the Navy. I've been in electronics my whole life, and I know how to use an ohm meter and do a couple of simple things. Paul, there's no way this thing passed any kind of quality control, and rather than deal with you anymore because you are so rude, I'm going to try to fix it myself. If I can't fix it, I'm just going to throw it in the trash and buy me another tuner. And I promise you, it will not say Palstar on it this time around. And if you're out there and you're thinking about buying a Palstar product, the products are pretty good, but the support is unbelievably bad. And good luck to you if you have to have any encounter with Paul at Palstar. 73 is KO4TA.